Okay. Once again, warm welcome, everyone. I'm Charlotte Mbu from the Geneva Learning Foundation, and it's my pleasure to facilitate today's leaders and partners session in year and place of Reda. And I'm here with my colleagues, Anna and Yulia, who should be joining any moment from now. So, as you well know, this Leaders and Partners program is part of an initiative, the initiative that is really focusing on supporting children that are impacted by the humanitarian crisis in Ukraine with psychological first aid. And this is funded by the EU for Health program in partnership with the International Federation of the Red Cross and Red Crescent societies. So it is really an online peer learning initiative, and the aim is is working alongside National Red Cross staff and volunteers to involve health education and social work professionals that are in contact with affected children. So this is a rundown of our agenda for today. Like I said earlier, today we are having people that are joining us in these leaders and partners meetings for the first time. So we are going to do a quick overview of the Leaders and Partners program. And then we are going to show you the resources, share with you where you can get resources that are available for leaders and partners. And then we are going to do the community review of PFA measure. So if it is not your first time of joining this Leaders and Partners session, I'm going to crave your indulgence as I revisit some of the slides that you might have seen in the past. It's really because we want to talk about the Leaders and Partners program for those who are joining for the very first time. And I want to say a warm welcome to our PFA Connect alumni, those who have been certified and who participated and were certified in one of the 4 PFA Connect sessions that we have held from the 29th of January up till the 14th of March. So if it's your first time of joining the Leaders and Partners sessions, warm welcome to you. So today we are going to tell you how your organization can become a partner, how you can join the leadership circle, and how you can become a focal point. I also want to say a special hello to those from the European countries that are supporting Ukrainian children. You are from Africa, Asia, and other countries. Warm welcome to you. Though you might not be able to become a partner or a focal point representing your organization or a leader in the leadership circle, but you are welcome to join as an observer. So this is a little bit of the framework of our mutual commitment. We are here to support each other following international child protection standards, respecting expertise and protecting privacy. And there are 2 distinct engagement pathways that we propose in the Leaders and Partners program. One is the organizational partnerships, which could be you joining as an organization with a focal point that is here to represent your organization at the level of the program, or as an individual that is joining the leadership circle. And this one is open to all practitioners, and the whole focus is around capacity building. So for what are the benefits of joining the leadership circle or becoming an organizational partner? There is that early access to toolkits that will enable, that can be used to pilot interventions in your organization, and that can be adapted also to the needs, to the learning needs of your organization around PFA. We have the leadership circle as early access as well, and recognition of contribution on future outputs, and then open access to insights, to tools, to best practices that are shared with everyone. But you as a leader, you as a partner, you have early access to all of those, as well as a priority to the knowledge that you earn. So who is the leadership circle for? As I said earlier, it is for all practitioners who are supporting Ukrainian children, program participants, volunteers, and managers. So there are three distinct steps to join the leadership circle. The first one is to attend at least one session like the one today. So your attendance in this session today, that is step one. Step two is to share the latest announcements and documents. So in your inbox, you will see emails where we invite you to share announcements, either for PFA Connect, to invite your colleagues for PFA Connect, for peer learning exercises and other peer learning activities and initiatives that we organize. So if you are able to share that announcement and document it, if you look in the emails, you also see a link where you can document that you shared the announcement in your network of 1,000 teachers, 100 social workers with your colleagues, 25 colleagues on a WhatsApp platform. That is, if you're able to share and document that. And the third thing is to respond to future calls to action. So those are the three steps. And then so other opportunities, like I said, for the leadership circle that's available for you as an individual is you have access to future cohorts. And earlier on, I'm going to be sharing with you what we have planned in terms of peer learning activities and other capacity building activities. You have access to all of those as a leader that's part of the leadership cycle. You are able to grow your professional network because you are able to connect with other PFA professionals and humanitarian workers that are working in your field from all over Europe and that are supporting especially Ukrainian children. And you're also able to give your inputs on program development in order that can shape future activities. And we are going to be looking at some of those, your inputs today. Like I said, as we see on our agenda, we have the PFA measure that we are going to be looking at today, and we'll be inviting you to input and to give feedback. And if you're just joining us, warm welcome to you. Just feel free to leave comments in the chat if you have a question, or raise your hand, and I'll be delighted to invite you to unmute yourself. So what are the benefits for organizations? So if you are an organization, you have the opportunity to become a partner of the PFA program. And being a partner, you'll be able to strengthen staff capability, which will lead to enhanced skills and performance. There is a cross-organization networking. You're able to network with leaders from other organizations that are working to support children from across Europe, and also those that are based in Ukraine. You're able to aid in the development of organizational skills, not only of your staff, but of staff of other organizations. You're able to have access to preliminary data that can inform strategic planning in your organization, and you're able to ensure that staff receive timely capacity building opportunities. So those are some, not all of the benefits for organizational partners of participating in the Leaders and Partners program. And all of this will lead us to what we call the Impact Accelerator, which is an initiative that is really for PFA practitioners to implement ideas that they develop during peer learning, to use them in their context to improve upon the work that they are doing to support Ukrainian children. And some of the particularities of the PFA accelerator is that it is very flexible, so you can join when you can and how you can. It is work-based learning. So the lessons that you're learning are lessons that you can apply. The knowledge gain is directly applicable on the work that you are doing, enabling you to solve some of the challenges that you're facing, as well as learn from successes of colleagues and use those successes to implement in your work to support Ukrainian children. And the focus is really on getting things done. It is a very structured process that turns peer learning into a project idea, and then the project idea into actions for implementation. And it builds on everything that you have learned through the peer learning process, whether it's through the peer learning exercises or PFA Connect or other peer learning activities that we organize. And there is a regular monitoring that includes attribution of improved child health outcomes to participation. So that is it with the Leaders and Partners program. That was just a brief overview. I don't want to take so much time, so I want to just take 2 to 3 minutes to share with you some of the resources that you have access to as a leader and as or as a partner. The very first one is the PFA Connect, the PFA community. So the first thing is, and I'm just going to share the link in the chat. If you have not yet joined our Telegram channel, you have the possibility to do so, and it's the quickest way for you to connect with fellow participants and with the program team. And on the Telegram channel, we share announcements, quick access to announcements, as well as all the resources that are available from our different activities. The next thing is accessing learning resources in relation to PFA Connect. So I'm just going to also share the link to this. It's a link to the Google Drive that has all the resources from all of our PFA Connect sessions. I'm just going to share the link right here with you in the chat. So once you click on this link, it will take you to a folder, to a Google folder that has each of the different PFA Connect resource folders. And so you'll see PFA Connect 1, PFA Connect 2, PFA Connect 3. And in each of the folders, you'll see the new topics that we discussed during each PFA Connect and the key learnings. So you need to double click on the folder to open it. So that is how you access those resources. And this is just a pathway, a recommended learning pathway. If you are new to psychological first aid, we can ask you to start with the PFA basics, and then you can move to the insights, PFA Connect, and then PFA peer learning. And I'm going to be showing you in greater detail what that is. So the PFA basics is an e-learning module. Is a 20-minute to 1 hour learning, self-guided learning module that is on a very easy to use platform where you can access to learn about psychological first aid, especially if you have not had any PFA training in the past. You can start at any time, but you have to try to finish before the deadline. And when you do so, you can also invite colleagues who are training. And as always, I'm sharing the link with you in the chat. And I hope you can get me clearly, because I'm getting indications that my connectivity is unstable. So I'll just turn off my video so that you can hear me better. So I've put the link to the e-learning module in the chat. Okay. And then the next thing is, after you have done the e-learning module, you can have now join the peer learning exercise, which is a 2-week intensive peer learning exercise with a series of live sessions that will lead to a development of a case study that is focusing on psychological first aid. So now we have 3 cohorts that are programmed in the coming month. The Ukrainian cohort 4, which is programmed from the 17th to the 30th of March, that is starting today. So today, and if you are Ukrainian, it is exclusive. It's in Ukrainian, and it's exclusive for Ukrainian speaking professionals that are supporting children affected by the humanitarian crisis in Ukraine. But we have an English cohort that is upcoming from the 31st of March to the 15th of April. And it is this one that I'll be encouraging you to join. So enrollment is currently open. If you have not yet participated in our peer learning exercise before, I am encouraging you to apply to enroll for this peer learning exercise, and I'm putting the link in the chat. But do not only enroll, please also invite your staff and your colleagues, staff from your organizations and your colleagues, so that they might join, because this English cohort is contingent on the interest and the number of participants that enroll. So I highly encourage you to click on the link to enroll, but you can also share that link with your peers and your colleagues. And I just have a quick question. You can type in the chat the number of colleagues that you're going to invite to enroll for this peer learning exercise if they have not yet participated in a peer learning exercise on a PFA before. So, and this peer learning exercise will be facilitated with our bilingual Ukrainian facilitators. We have Anna and Yulia. whom I am sure most of you have already met in the past. The last resource, that valuable resource that we have for learners and partners, the tips, the tools, and the insights from PFA Connect and from previous peer learning exercise that are bundled and packaged in what we call Insights Report. And there is a link for that as well, and I'm going to paste it for you in the chat. So that is the last and final resource that you need. And you all know the PFA Connect learning cycle, a 5-day learning cycle that shows what we do at PFA Connect, how you can get involved and what you can gain at the end with your participation at PFA Connect. So what is different about PFA Connect is really you choose the topics that we are going to discuss, and there is a time for everything for each activity. It focuses on practical knowledge, and everyone is invited to share what they learn, and you're able to get back what others are shared. So everything that's been shared around the discussion topics in breakout rooms is shared with the rest of the group, and we are able to measure the value of what you are learning. So that is it. I'm going to take a pause now, and I see I took a little bit more time than I would have wanted, but I'm just going to invite you if you are able to, if you have any question, please feel free to raise your hand. I'm also able to just give you the possibility to unmute yourself if you have any question up to this point, especially if you are joining for the very first time. If not, we are going to move straight to one of the most important parts of today's leaders and partners session, which is really around community review of PFA measure. So here we are going to be testing the PFA measure tool. But prior to that, just give me a few moments to introduce this tool that was developed by the PFA team and other experts around PFA. So PFA measure is really that is measuring the process of applying PFA. That is, you have gained psychological first aid skills, you understand PFA principles, and then you want to apply them to support children. Then you begin to observe behavioral changes in the children and caregivers that you're supporting, and you're able to measure the improvement. There are certain indicators that you can use to measure improvement, and we'll look at the health outcomes and the evidence of effectiveness of PFA implementation. So this is what it's really about. And what can we measure with this framework? That is the ability to carry out daily PFA activities. It is subject to the well-being of the children. That is, are they feeling calm, safe, hopeful? It's that is noticing disabling distress and symptoms, the ability to cope with problems, social behavior, and social connectedness. And briefly, how did we develop this framework? We first of all had to review 15 MHPSS evaluation resources and framework, and then we selected the IASC Common M&E framework from 2021 as the foundation for this framework. And then we mapped PFA data and codes into the IASC framework categories. We created customized indicators based on participant responses. And then we developed a flexible checklist format with required optional sessions. Okay. And I see your questions, Abdulaziz, in the chat. So for certification, if it's PFA Connect, the process for certification, there is an email that you receive in your inbox for that. But for the certification for all the other exercises and all the other peer learning sessions, the certificates are on the platform. So if you enroll for a learning activity on the platform or the peer learning exercise, you will see as you go through the exercises, at the end of the day, you should be able to download your own certificate. So what do we need from you today in terms of the feedback on this to this framework? And I'm just going to share the link to the framework in English in the chat. It is a Google form that you can click on when the time comes. So the first thing we want you to, do a review of indicators and questions for cultural appropriateness and other considerations. Are the indicators and the questions that are being asked, are they questions that you can answer? Are they appropriate for your context and the culture within your context? We need your input on the practical use of the instrument. Is it practical? Is it user-friendly? We need you to review, that is to see if the data, that is, when the data will start coming in during the accelerator, we are going to come back to you to review and give us your feedback on what we are learning. And we also want you to make, to give us suggestions to make the tool more user-friendly, adapting it to different contexts and integration with other existing platforms that we have. So right now we are going to go into the practical exercise. I have just put the link in the chat, the link to the Google form. So please, can you just click on that link? And once you click on it, can you type yes in the chat to tell me that you have clicked so that we know that you have clicked on the link and you have opened it? Okay, thanks, Zia. So thanks, Manisha. So the yes is on the chat. So we only have 2 yeses. There are many more people. So please, let me put the link again in case you missed it. I'm just putting the link in the chat. If you're able to click on that link, the next thing is for you to think of a situation in which you supported a child or a group of children. Complete at least the first part of the questionnaire and then prepare to share your feedback. And raise your hand to be the first to share your feedback. So we are just going to give you maybe 5 minutes so that you can go on in which you supported a child or a group of children, you offered PFA support, and then you complete at least the first part of the questionnaire and prepare to share your feedback. So while you're doing that, I'll just stop sharing my screen. And then I'm going to click on the link to the form as well. And I'll share, I'll put up the form on the screen so that you can actually see what the form looks like. So PFA measure, this evaluation tool documents observed and reported changes primarily in children affected by the humanitarian crisis in Ukraine before and after the provision of psychological first aid. To best fit this unique context, the tool was developed, everything that I introduced before, and you're able to see some of the terminology that has been used in terms of the prepare, look, listen, and link principles of PFA. You can look at them. Their link is there. You look at the modified categorization of mental health and psychosocial goal impact indicator as recommended in the interagency standing committee framework of 2021, and then the expanded age ranges recommended in the Save the Children Psychological First Aid Training Manual for Children Practitioners. So that is just that is the first page. So what you have to do is to start by typing your email before you can move to the next page. So we still have about 3 to 4 minutes to go, and then we'll come back. I'll come back to you. So I myself, I can just also try. I can just type my email so that you see what it looks like. Okay, so and section A now is like a general overview. You need give a code name for the child so that we can respect anonymity, and then the age of the child that you supported, and then the PFA principle. So here is like describe that required situation or immediate support by answering the following question. Who was present with the child? Was it a parent? Where did you encounter them? What common and or severe reactions of stress did the child and others present? So it's an open-ended question. And according to you, what you saw, what were the immediate concerns you felt necessary to address? So this is an open-ended question. You need to type your response. And then you look now how you apply the PFA principles of listen and link. And there is still a group of questions for you to review. And then now we go now again to indicate the type and the frequency of support you linked the child and others present with them to. So what kind of support did you link the children to in terms of the link principle? And then overview of the child before and immediately after. So here is before, when the child very distressed, stressed, fare well, very well, and directly after, just after the PFA implementation, what did you observe? And whether I will not, you might not need to put in all the details here now. If you have a clear story, in your mind already, when you want to share, you can just raise your hand and share with us. And then we'll look at the PFA principles of listen and link, and they just give us what we really want now. Maybe it's not your detailed response, it's really just your immediate feedback as to how you see this tool. Is it user friendly? What suggestions do you have for improvement? Do you think how can we contextualize it better, or can it be applied to your context? So what suggestions? And we will still be open to feedback. I'm sure after this session, we'll come back to you to give you some time to give us more detailed feedback as you test the other sections of the tool. But for now, we really want to hear your immediate thoughts and feedback. So please go ahead and raise your hand, or just unmute yourself if you want to tell us what you think. So the floor is open and I'm putting up, So if you're finished testing, I don't know, Susan, sorry about that. Zia?
Hello, Charlotte. Yeah, I've reviewed part of the document, and I think it is very easy to use in comparison with the first time when we were supposed to fill up. I like it. It's very, how do you say, helpful and easy to work and easily identified. Like before PFA is applied and after PFA, how about the child is stressed or not? I like this form that this Google form that you have come up with. Actually, the questionnaire is very easy.
Okay, thanks a lot for that feedback, Zia. I have a little follow-up question for you.
Yeah.
Just to say, so looking at just that section A of the questionnaire, you can actually picture a time when you offered such psychological first aid, and you can respond to the questions directly without any issues.
Yes. Just a question. The first part, right? Section A. In the
Yes,
yes,
yes. Let me,
because you are it's a very very clear cut general overview. You just put the child's name and the age, and then 0.3 principal overview, where you actually say who was present with the child and where did you encounter. But maybe it could be what would be helpful if we could write like not more than a certain how many 100 words or 150 words, because like you say, it has to be simplified because later on they get to write more about the story. You know what I mean?
yes, yes, I think I get what you mean. Thanks for that feedback, Zia. So if I got you correctly, it's there should be kind of like a word limit here.
Yes, yeah, because otherwise we would not know how much to limit ourselves, whether to tell the whole story here and then later on, do we have to describe again and break it up? Because like I say, like we start at the beginning and then we start telling our story, and then we as we move on, then we see, oh, okay, we have to write again. So it's nice to say, here you just put the story in short form, as simplified as you can, how many 100 words, because you're going to describe later on.
Okay, thanks so much, Zia.
You're welcome.
Susan, I saw your hand was raised, but it's like you're connected on two devices, so I don't know which. Okay, please go ahead. And Susan, if you can just start by introducing yourself, please, that would be great for those who don't know you yet. Susan, can you hear me? I'm not able to hear you. Anna, are you able to hear Susan?
No, also, I can't.
Okay. So maybe Susan is having technical issues or connectivity issues.
Yes, it shows her mic is on.
Yeah, her mic is open, but we are not able to hear her. Okay, yes, Susan, I thought I heard some noise now, so please go ahead.
I don't know if it's about Carmen. It's not Susan.
Okay, Carmen, please go ahead. Susan is unmuted, but we can't hear her. So Carmen, do you have some feedback on the first section of the form?
Not yet, because I try to follow you in the same time I watching my toddler. So if it's a document I can work in later, I will do that, because now I try to be with you and also to take care of my little boy.
Okay.
Sorry, but it's what it is.
No, it's okay. You don't have to apologize. We understand. So I've just put the link in the chat. I've just put the link to the form in the chat so you can click on it. And this is actually the form that I'm showing on my screen right now. You can click on it and then you go ahead and fill it when you have the time. And we'll definitely be coming back to you on your feedback and what we really want you to share with us in terms of feedback, the feedback that is required from you as leaders and partner is, it's here. Let me see. Oh, let's, okay. So can you give us suggestions on how to make the tool more user friendly, how to adapt it to different contexts, and how to integrate it with existing systems? So this is really the kind of feedback that we want from you as you are reviewing, as you are testing the form. So for today was really around you just looking at the first part of the questionnaire and giving us immediate feedback. And I'm just grateful for Zia for the feedback that she shared. But I see we are actually out of time. We are 3 minutes over. Are there any other questions or comments that you may have?
The form is really nice and very easy. Up to me, I don't think it needed to be changed, but I will let you know during the process. And yes, I'm Carmen from Social Active Association from Romania.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Carmen, for that instant and immediate feedback. So, like I said earlier, we'll really be looking forward to hearing your thoughts as leaders and partners on this feedback. And just to say, we'll be connecting again. We'll be connecting again in 2 weeks. That is in 2 Mondays from now for our next leaders and partners meeting. And during that time, we will definitely be coming back to you for more detailed feedback on this form once you have tested it and seen that it works well. So before we separate today, just a quick reminder of our upcoming peer learning initiatives, which I shared with you earlier, and it is the peer learning exercise in English from the 31st to the 15th of April. We actually started with the Ukrainian, the 4th cohort. Its organization will be contingent on the number of people that are enrolled. So for now, we have not yet attained the cohort size that we require for this session to hold. Yes, Carmen, we'll send them to you. We'll send these links to you again by email. So if you have not yet enrolled for this, the peer learning exercise cohort 3 in English, This is the link to enroll in the chat, and also invite your colleagues, invite members that is of your organization, in your network, your teachers network if you're a teacher, social workers network if you're a social worker, a volunteer network if you're a humanitarian volunteer. So just share that link with them to enroll. Enrollment is currently open, and the cohort session will run from the 31st of March to the 15th of April. So that said, once again, I really want to thank you for your participation in today's leaders and partners meeting. We meet every fortnightly, and as we separate, as when I'll close the Zoom room, you're going to get a notification to fill in a short survey, a short form. Please just make sure you take 5 minutes to complete the survey and tell us the value that you got out of this session. Thank you once again for joining and for participating, and for the initial feedback that we got from you on testing the PFA measure tool that we have prepared. And we look forward to connecting with you again in 2 weeks' time for our leaders and partners session. But before then, if you have any questions, the Telegram channel is open, and you will definitely be getting an email from us with all of the relevant links, as well as the Google link for you to continue to test the tool. Thanks again, and bye for now. See you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.